in. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? I'm Nick.
Matt, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
see
you.
you again.
Yes.
I'm from the Seminole Insurance Agency. May I have a seat?
Please do.
I brought my business card for you.
Thank you.
Do you have one for me as well?
I do.
Oh, very nice, very nice. So it was nice to see you the other day at the chamber event.
Likewise.
Did you have a good time?
I did.
Cool. So tell me, do you think that helps bring some new business into your Table 22?
I'm hopeful. The business people that I met, I gave them my card and talked to them about our catering and the fact that we can do private parties and things like that. So
Okay, nice,
hopefully.
nice. And do you know when the next one will be, or is there going to be another one at all?
Well, I think they do them once a month, but I'm not sure. I usually get an email. How about you?
I'm not sure. I really, that was my first time going, and it's more of like a conversational event, meeting new people, handing out business cards, you know. But I really had a good time. So.
Well, how long have you been at Seminole?
This is actually my 10th year. Right
Wow, I would have thought you were a lot younger than 10 years experience.
I just shaved and got a haircut, but yeah, it's actually my 10th year, and I went to FSU before that. I studied sales and insurance, so right off the boat, I jumped right into it. So tell me a little bit more about yourself.
I've had this restaurant for a year and a half, and I've ever since I graduated from college, I've been in the restaurant industry, working for larger companies. So this is my first foray. I've got all my eggs in this basket, and I'm concerned a little bit about my current insurance program, which is why I invited you, and I'm also speaking to some of your competitors about how you all might be able to help me.
Okay, cool. Well, basically what I wanted to do today was I wanted to set my agenda for you. I wanted to discover what you your needs, what you want to try to get fixed, tell you a little bit more about myself, and then figure out a little bit more about you. And before we start that, I want to ask, is there anyone else that should be here with us during this meeting?
No, I'm the only business
okay, cool.
owner and the only decision maker.
Awesome. Let's get started. So explain a little bit to me what makes you special, what makes your Table 22 stand out a little bit from everyone else.
I would like to think the food and the service, our wait staff get tipped very well, so clearly the guests like it and they come back frequently. I think also the ambiance here, the fact that we've got this imported floor that I put in myself, we've got the glass mosaic on the wall, and the custom front doors as people enter into the building, I think make it unique, and the fact that it is an old historic building. Okay,
very nice. And what are some of your goals as you're getting started in this new industry? It's only been a year and a half, you said, right?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're interested in is currently our liquor sales, mostly wine, represent about $700,000 of our total sales, which are about on point to be about 3.7 million. We're going to expand that into a rare wine collection. I want to scratch off, so got about $250,000, and I'm going to invest in buying some rare wine and have some tasting parties. It's my brother's company.
Okay, nice.
And then we have the option to take over the space downstairs. I mean, I know it's not sprinklered, but currently there's a gift shop there, and we're thinking about opening up a retail space for selling wine bottles to consumers, either as they leave the restaurant or just independently.
So you would have the Table 22 and then downstairs the wine. So tell me what progress you're going to make to do that. Like, when do you think the timetable is going to be to open?
Well, our commercial policies all renew on July 1st.
Okay.
So I think one of the hopes that I have been speaking to you all is to get an understanding of what the insurance implications would be for that expansion, both the wine inventory that we're looking to bring on, and then ensuring the retail space to make sure that we can still put it in our pro forma and make a profit.
Okay, and is that mostly what you want to accomplish today? Is that what you want to get out of this meeting?
Well, I had an unfortunate situation with our current broker, which is why I'm even having this meeting, and that was after Hurricane Irma, we lost electricity for a few days, and I lost $40,000 worth of food.
Oh man!
And it took me a week before I was able to replenish that supply and open back up. And with sales being 3.7 million, it's between $60,000 and $70,000 an average week. So I was out in business income and with no coverage, and also didn't have coverage for the food that spoiled. And I thought I was fully covered.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Tell me, what do you think that happened during that week that you could have done differently when you lost $40,000?
Well, in the absence of having an insurance policy that responded,
Yeah.
I think I probably could have moved some of the inventory to other locations because not every place lost electricity. So I probably could have called a friend of mine who has a restaurant in another part of town, and maybe we could have swapped half inventory. So if we were both out, we were both out. But if I had electricity and she didn't, she'd only lose half of hers.
Exactly.
And I'd lose half of mine. So that's something that I could probably get done. But I expected the policy to pay for something.
And are you still with that provider?
I am.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's unfortunate, but I think today we can make great progress, and maybe we could help you out, and we could both benefit from this greatly. So tell me a little bit about your staff and your team over at Table 22.
I've got 20 employees.
Okay.
So that's front of the house, back of the house, cleaning staff, and wait staff. They are awesome, and we spend a lot of time focusing on customer safety, employee safety, and safe liquor serving practices.
Okay, that's awesome. And do they all have to take courses before starting at Table 22?
Or? They have to pass. They have to take a course on safe serving practices.
So they all have their licenses?
There's a license.
Like for admitting alcohol, like, or take classes, and then you have to be able to, like, become, I guess, official.
I don't think I have that.
Okay. What is the most important to you when it comes to, like, insurance, your policies? Would you consider reducing expenses or reducing claims, maybe identifying gaps in coverage?
I think based on the issue that I've had previously, gaps in coverage would be number one. We haven't, knock on wood, we haven't had any liquor liability claims. We haven't had any material workers' comp claims or any guest incidents.
Okay, cool, awesome. So tell me about your current lease agreement.
I'm in a current lease agreement. It's a 5-year lease. If I am out of business and can't use it for 30 days, I can cancel the coverage. But to find other space would cost probably twice as much.
Yeah.
More importantly, I've got about $800,000 in improvements and betterments to the space, the flooring, the walls, the door, etc. That if I were to leave this space, I would leave all that behind. And I did all the work myself, and I did not get it permitted.
Wow. Yeah, I know that you're pretty much a self-starter. You did it all from the beginning, and the contracting and everything. Do you feel that that there's any more steps you can take to maybe finding a better insurance policy? Or?
Well, I guess the first question would be, would the insurance company respond if I had damage to the floors, the wall, the door, because it wasn't permitted? And is it too late to get permitting now? So that would be something that I'd want to explore further. And then what other policies would a typical restaurant consider even if they didn't buy it? With the spoilage and the loss of income not being covered, my broker said, well, I didn't know you wanted that. Well, I don't know what I want because I don't know what the risks are.
Yeah, okay. Well, if I told you today that I could help you maybe identify those gaps and save you money on those losses and damages, would you maybe consider moving forward and setting a new meeting? And
yes.
Okay, cool. Very nice. So how long have you been around this area?
So I've lived here for 20 years.
Okay.
But this restaurant's been open for 18 months.
Oh, nice. And so I feel like you're getting a younger crowd. Do you think that it's mostly like a new trendy like kind of feel, or?
Well, I think for the lunch crowd, we're getting a lot of people that work for the government and a lot of business people that are using it for a high-end lunch. No liquor sales really during the lunch hour, and then at night it's a little bit trendier, but I think with the high-end wine that we're going to start serving, it will bring back that lunch crowd who will tend to spend more money on dinner rather than kind of the young, looking for drink specials and things like that. That's not really our crowd.
Okay, cool. Well, it seems like I figured out most of your needs today. Is there any way that you would like to maybe set a new meeting and we could probably close a deal, or maybe look for new plans?
Tell me about the second meeting, what would that entail?
Maybe we can talk a little bit more about opening up your new wine cellar downstairs and new policies that could help you save money, and just show you the savings that you could have when you change to our policy from your current plan to ours. So
Would you need any additional documentation?
yes, I would actually need to see some the new give me a second, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
To see like what you're currently.
Would you be able to email me a list of things that
I
you
can
want to
do
look at beforehand?
I could definitely
Okay.
do that.
And then tell me a little bit about Seminole. We didn't really touch on that.
Seminole Insurance, we're definitely one of the fastest growing agencies around. We do a lot of work with younger new current, I guess, locations and places that have opened up. And I'm super blessed to work with them, and I think it's been a great 10 years right out of college. I think we could help you guys out a lot, and I'm very excited to get working with you.
Excellent.
Would you like to set a meet date for sometime next week, or?
Sure.
Okay, how's next Tuesday?
What time?
How's noon?
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very
Very
much.
much.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
How
Okay.
much was that? That was fast.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was really
You did
nervous.
great.
Yeah, I mean, I could have done a lot better.
What do you think?
I did a role play last week and I did so much better. It's just that like the Seminole Insurance, I feel like it's not like something real, you know. Like I worked with my insurance my agent, and I was calling him all last week, and he was telling me like he gave me a bunch of papers like proof and agency and like what to do with the claim, and then when I get here I kind of just blank out, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's are you insurance and sales?
No, I'm actually sales and management. I think I might change to sales and finance though.
I would agree in finance. So
Yeah?
I would.
Did you like finance?
I did for me, but now if I went to Florida State, I get insurance and risk management because I think that everybody gets a job.
Yeah.
And you're selling something everyone has to buy from someone.
Yeah.
Why not you?
And it's so specific, like it's such a good industry to get into. But did you go to Florida State? You said?
No, I went to USF. But
USF.
yeah, my brothers went here
Cool.
many years ago.
When did they graduate?
In the 80s,
Oh, cool.
90s. And then our daughter goes to University of Miami.
Oh.
Yeah, I threw that out to somebody else. I'm like, would you date my daughter? She's at University of Miami. And he didn't buy it. He's like, I'm in a relationship.
You see, I'm from Miami, and most people.
Really?
Yeah, most
Where'd
people.
you go to school?
I went to Columbus and then Archbishop McCarthy. I don't know. Have you been?
My husband's from Miami, so he went
Okay.
to South Miami, and his mom taught at South. He went to Southwest. His mom taught at South.
Okay.
And then his brother teaches middle school somewhere.
And then now you guys live up here.
We live in Tampa,
Oh, okay.
so our agency is in Tampa.
Oh, nice, awesome. Yeah, but back to what I was saying. Like, I just get so like nervous. Like, I had it all rehearsed and practice on what I was gonna ask you, and then I get nervous and I ask questions like out of place, you know, like. But.
What I thought you were going to tell me about the agency, and then you said, and then I said, what about the agency? And you're like, but I think you did great.
Thank you.
You will your focus and energy will save the day. Because
what do you mean?
You come with a lot of energy. You have focus. You did research, and if you were out pitching this to a real buyer who owned restaurants, they would find that endearing. So you can play that nervous energy to your strength.
Okay.
Because it'll make them feel honored that you care that much about writing their insurance or whatever it is that you end up doing. But you want to go back to Miami after graduation?
Wherever it takes me. I don't know. Wherever it all takes me. But probably. I love Miami. It's hard to get away from there.
I like visiting, but.
Yeah, you see, I don't live in the heart of Miami. That's why I live in Miami Lakes. It's like a small town, a little north. But if I actually lived in like downtown Miami, I could see where it gets old. Like, you know.
Well, I think our daughter's a little bit isolated being by the university.
She lives on campus?
She did. She was a rower last year, so she lived in the athletic dorms, and now she lives about a mile the other direction, but it's adjacent.
What is she studying?
International relations and computer engineering with a minor in math.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not my biological.
That's nice.
But you know, I think we'll see. I don't know.
You know what she wants to do?
I think she wants to be an attorney.
Wow.
So I think she's going to try to get her master's degree. And then,